Hi everyone, welcome to this morning's Forever in Motion class. My name is Kim. I am one of the recreation therapists on the Forever in Motion team, and I am going to be leading you through the class this morning. Now this morning's class, I'm hoping it'll be about 45 minutes, and we are going to focus today on posture and balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a few minutes warming up because we need to warm up our body no matter what we're working on, and then we'll go straight into posture, and then we'll do some balance stuff and end with some beautiful flexibility. So the equipment that you're going to need today is very simple. All you need is a sturdy chair. You can see this chair that I have here, and then I have my water bottle in front. So that's all you're going to need. You're not going to need any other equipment for today. We will do a couple of things against a wall. So if you have a place in your home or wherever you're watching the video that you can use some wall space, that would be fabulous. Even the back of a door is going to be enough space to do the one thing that I wanted to show you guys when it relates to posture. So I think we've got at least one person watching, so I think we'll get started. There's no reason to delay the start. So we're going to start with that warm up. So I'm going to move my chair to the side just so you can see me. But if you're at home or wherever you're doing this and you have that chair, I want you to be behind that chair, just so that you have that chair to hold on to if you need it. I'm going to be beside the chair so you can see me. We're just going to start with a march. Take some nice deep breaths here. Take that moment to kind of settle into the work that we're going to do here today with this class. In nice inhales and exhales. Those arms are just swinging how they naturally want to when you march. It doesn't have to be a huge march yet. Just kind of marching it out with those feet. You can maybe you can hear my feet. I hope that you can hear me okay. I didn't plug the microphone in today, so hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom because I can speak up if you need me to, or you can turn the volume up on the device you're watching on. All right, now let's increase this march a little bit. So bringing those knees up a little higher. If you're holding on to the chair with both hands, you're not going to be swinging those arms at all. If you're holding on with one, you can swing wide with the other one, or if you're not holding on at all, you can kind of exaggerate that swing in those arms just to get that upper body warmed up as well as that lower body. Good. All right, and we're going to move this to a step touch in 4, 3, 2, last one, step touch, step, step. Okay, so my arms just naturally kind of want to go to the opposite side here. We are just warming up, so if you want to stick without those arms and just have those feet moving, that's cool too, whichever one works for you. Now, as for pace, you can choose how fast you would like to go here. You can go faster than I am if your body's ready to step it up a little bit. If I'm going too fast, that's okay too. You just choose the pace that you want to set with this step touch. So finding that beautiful posture while we're here as well. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Core is engaged, always engaged when we're doing exercises. So it's like a lifting up through that belly to engage that core. Shoulders are back and down. Shoulders are away from your ears as well. Oh, I messed up with those arms. There we go. So hands just go to that opposite side if you want. Good, and we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and back to that march. Here we go. All right, you can get those arms swinging if you're ready for that. Your body is ready. Taking some nice deep breaths. Now we're going to do a little bit of a heel dig to the front. So it's just a tap, back, tap, back, tap, back. Yes. So you can tap straight forward with that foot, or you can cross the midline of your body and tap in front of the other foot. It depends which one you would like to do. Doesn't really matter. We're just kind of trying to get everything warmed up here. Now let's add just some bicep curls to this heel tap or this heel dig, just to get a little bit of movement in the upper and the lower body. Yes. Whew, taking some nice deep breaths here. There's a little bit of external noise today at the health center. I hope it's not bothering you too much. In the office next to me, someone is on a conference call, and so I can hear it. Hopefully you guys can't hear it too bad and you can still hear me. Good, let's do 4, 3, 2, last one. Take it back to that march. All right. Now, we're going to hold this march for a moment, but I want you to bring the level of that march a little bit lower. If your heart rate has come up at all, I want it to come back down a little bit before we set our feet. So we're just going to march, slowing down that pace. Yes. Kind of slowing down the movement. There we go. All right, now let's set those feet hip distance apart at least. They can be shoulder distance apart if you'd like. Holding onto that chair, if it's there for you, we're going to bring one arm up. My thumb is up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow my thumb all the way around to the back, as far back as is comfortable for you to go, with your feet staying planted, shoulders away from your ears. Keep breathing while we're doing this, and then slowly follow that thumb back to the front. Let's do the other side. I always have to take a breath in between or else I get dizzy. All right, follow that thumb. Oh, you should feel this movement all the way from your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lower back, your upper back, all the way up to your neck. And then we're going to come back to the middle. Good. All right, roll those shoulders back and down. Now we're going to move straight into our posture section. I'm going to move my chair into the middle here because I want you seated in your chair for this. I'm also going to grab a drink of water before we move into our posture section. I will cue you to have water as we go through the class, but know that at any time, if you would like to have a drink of water, please just go ahead and do that. All right. Okay. So we're going to start sitting at about the middle of our chair. So we're not leaning on the back of our chair. We're finding that beautiful posture. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Even though we're seated, our core is still engaged. Shoulders are back and down. We're going to start with some shoulder blade retraction, which means we're going to bring our shoulder blades down and together. So hands go on the thighs. Bring those hands up towards your hips. Elbows point back. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and together. And then release. It's like we're just waking them up back there. Back and squeeze. Keep breathing through this squeeze and then release. Back and squeeze. Good. And then release. Back and squeeze. And release. Hopefully when you're squeezing, you're able to bring those shoulder blades back and squeeze. Bring those shoulder blades a little bit closer together. And release, back and squeeze, and release. Let's do one more. Back and squeeze, and release. Okay, shake that out. As just like that little reminder to those shoulder blades. Wake up, we want you to work now. So what we're gonna do next is a chin tuck. So I want you to set your finger, your index finger on your chin, finding that beautiful posture. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see me. Okay, so my chin is here, my finger is here on my chin, and I'm looking straight ahead at the horizon. I'm not going to look up and I'm not going to look down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my head straight back away from that finger. Keep breathing through this and then relax forward. 5, find that chin again with your finger, squeeze it back. So those eyes stay on the horizon. Don't look up, don't look down. And relax. Find that chin with your finger and then pull away. Shoulders are away from your ears and relax. And pull away. This is called a chin tuck. And relax. I can't remember if I said that or not. And pull back. And relax. Let's do 2 more. Pull back. And relax. And last one. Back. And relax. All right. So you guys know, oftentimes as we get older, our posture with our head starts to come forward a bit, right? And so that one is really just helping us to stretch the muscle that it comes up the back of our neck and goes up the back of our head so that we can get our head back so that those ears are in line with those shoulders for our posture. That's what that one is for. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take those 2 moves that we just did, which was your shoulder blade retraction, bringing those shoulder blades down and together, and the chin tuck, and we're going to combine them together. So hands are going to be on your thighs, down towards your knees. Okay, so we're going to retract those shoulder blades. So run those hands up towards your thighs, bring those shoulder blades down and together, and then tuck your chin. Create that double chin. And then relax. Back and squeeze, bring those shoulder blades together, and then bring that chin back for that chin tuck. And relax. Good. Back and squeeze. Once you find that squeeze, head goes straight back for that chin tuck. Remember to keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't look up or down. And relax. Back and squeeze, then add that chin tuck. Oof. And then relax. Let's do 1 more of those combos. Back and squeeze, and then bring that chin straight back. It even makes me talk funny. And relax. Okay, shake that out. Probably feeling, I hope that you're starting to feel the work in between your shoulder blades and those muscles in between there. Those are some of the muscles that are primarily responsible for our posture, so that's why we work those ones. All right, so now we're going to do another type of retraction for our shoulder blades, but we're going to do it with our arms up. So I want you to bring your arms up to the side, palms are facing forward. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. You're still sitting about the middle of your chair. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your arms back, squeeze your shoulder blades down and together, and then come forward. Back and squeeze, and come forward. I just lost one of the lights in this room. Back and squeeze, and come forward. Hopefully you guys can still see me okay. Leave me a message or drop me a little message here if you can't, and I'll see if I can get the light to turn back on. But otherwise we'll just keep going. Back and squeeze, and then relax those arms forward. So they're starting just slightly in front of my body, and then when I go back, they're just slightly behind my body to squeeze those shoulder blades down and together and forward. Let's do 2 more. If you're starting to get tired, you can take a break. But if you're still going, we got 1 last one. Back and squeeze and come forward. Okay, shake that out. All right, bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then drop them down. Man, does that ever feel good? Let's do that 1 more time. Shoulders up and then just drop them down. All right, that was just to get your shoulders where they're supposed to be. All right, the next one we're gonna do for our posture is we're gonna tuck our elbows into our sides. So I want your elbows and your upper arm to touch your body. Forearms are gonna be parallel with the floor, palms are up. Imagine that you are holding a tray of cookies. Don't drop them on the floor, don't drop them in your lap. So hold them flat. Finding that beautiful posture, engaging that core, feet are flat on the floor. And keeping those elbows touching your body, you're just gonna turn your hands out as far as you can. And then bring them back together until your hands cross over. Now squeeze out. Shoulders should be down and away and come back together. Almost lost my cookies on this side. Out, make sure that that hand isn't coming up. Yes, and together. Better. Out. and bring them together. Out. As long as your elbows are tucked in, how far you go out with your arms is not as important as the form here. So make sure that those elbows are touching your sides, and then you're just going to turn those arms out as far as you possibly can. Let's do 2 more. As far as you can without feeling pain, sorry, is what I should have said. And 1 more. Out. And in. Whew. All right, roll those shoulders out. I'm going to grab a drink of water. My mouth feels dry. We've got a couple more things to do here. All right. So we're going to do another posture move with our arms up at shoulder height. So I want you to bring your arms up at shoulder height, only this time I want your hands facing the ceiling. Now drop those shoulders away from your ears. Now bring your arms far enough back that if you wiggle your fingers, you can't see them out of the corner of your eye. Okay, find that beautiful posture, engage that core. Now keeping your arms this far back, we're going to raise them up. So if you start to see your hands in your peripheral vision, you're coming too far forward, and bring it down. Like that's as far up as I can go. That's it, before my arms are going to start coming forward. And down. And up. How you feeling? And down. Let's just do 2 more. This one is intense. Up. And down. Breathe through it. Don't hold your breath. When things get hard, we hold our breath. Last one. Up. And down. Oh. Okay, let that breath out. Roll those shoulders out. The reason why that one is so hard is because most of us are really tight in our chest. And so by making you come open, it really opened up through that chest. And then to do the work from there, I really felt the work in my arm as well as through my chest. I don't know, it depends on how your body is made and where you're tight and those kinds of things as to where maybe you felt it, but that's where I felt it on that one. That's another reason why I really love that move, is because it opens us up and then it makes us work, which is where, you know, we need to be, because so many of us are tight through that chest. All right, the last posture move we've got. It's the I Dream of Jeannie move. Some of you know what it is. So hands are going to be crossed. This hand goes into this elbow. This hand goes over top of that elbow. It's like when I Dream of Jeannie, she would do this and then she'd go, didn't she? Like she would wink her head and then she'd disappear. Or maybe it had something to do with her nose. Anyway, this is the I Dream of Jeannie. So I want you to bring your toes and your knees together. Sorry, your feet, not just your toes. Your feet and your knees together. If you can get them touching each other and hold it there, that's fabulous. If you can't get them to touch each other, that's okay. Just as close as possible is good. Now with those arms up at shoulder height, what you're going to do is you're going to turn to the side, poke this elbow over your shoulder, and hold it here. Now even though we're holding it, you're still breathing. This is a stretch for that upper back. I hope you can feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. And come back to the middle. I sure can, it feels really nice. Switch to the other side. Now you might not have as much mobility or movement in one side as compared to the other. Just recognize that everybody has those kind of imbalances in our body. It's just because we're dominantly one hand over the other. Okay, go to the other side, poking back with that elbow, making sure that when you're doing this, your posture stays really good. Don't let that lower back round. Make sure that you're still in that really beautiful posture. And come back to the middle. And let's do that other side. So go to the other side. Take a couple of breaths here. And then come back to the middle. All right. Whew. Let's give those arms a shake. Roll those shoulders out. Let's just stretch our neck while we're here before we get up. I'm going to take one ear to this shoulder. Sometimes what happens when we're doing postural moves like this, all of that work was really centered in our upper back. And so what can happen is that if your upper back is really weak, sometimes your traps, which are the muscles towards your neck, like at the top of your shoulders and moving towards your neck, they can take over. Switch. Hold it in the middle, switch to the other side. And when that happens, they can get really tight. And so that's just why I wanted to include this neck stretch here. Just to give your body a moment to kind of relax into that. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a posture check on the wall. This is the part where I want you to have a space on your wall, or even the back of a door. I'm going to move this chair just so you can see what I'm going to do. And so I want you to come close to the wall. I'm going to say maybe like, 3 or 4 inches away from the wall. Can you see that? So you're going to set your feet away from the wall, about hip distance apart. Then I want you to put your bum on the wall. Then I want you to put your shoulder blades on the wall. And then I want you to bring your shoulders back to the wall. And then your head if you can. Now while you're here, don't arch that back. If you need to arch that back a lot to get that head back on the wall, then just leave it. But to get that head back, we can do that chin tuck that we did at the beginning. Now, take a moment here. How does this feel? How does that posture feel? Does it feel like you're in alignment now with those shoulders back against the wall, your bum on the wall, that core is engaged so you're not arching a lot to that lower back? Of course, there's going to be a natural arch in your lower back, but not a lot. Okay, and now the next step of this is, if you can, you're going to take your elbows and you're going to bring them up to shoulder height and put them on the wall. So my elbows are touching the wall. If you're there, our next step is to take those hands, rotate them up, and see if you can touch the wall with those hands. Not everybody can, and that's okay. This is just kind of like that check for yourself. And then you can release it. So what you can do with that, kind of that posture check against the wall, is you can occasionally do that check for yourself. Once every couple of weeks or once a week or something like that. You could even, practice that every day, especially if your hands aren't anywhere close to that wall. It's a really good opening up stretch that you can do against the wall. And it can help you work on your posture. It can help you kind of gain some of that posture back, or that alignment, in your posture back. So it's cool. If you want, you can leave a little kind of message underneath as to if you tried it and if you liked it, or if you're just like, that was terrible. Whatever you would like to share about that, please feel free to do that. All right, so now that we're standing, we're gonna work on our balance. So I'm gonna take this chair, turn it to the side. Now, the only reason I'm turning it to the side is so that you can see me in the screen. Not if you're at home or wherever you are watching this video, I want you to be standing behind your chair facing it, okay? So the first one we're going to do, see, I lied. The first one we're going to do, I do want you to turn to the side. It happens. So one hand is on that chair. The leg that's farthest away from that hand, you're gonna shift your weight to this side, and then you're gonna try to bring that knee up to that 90-degree angle without changing your posture, and come down. So same leg, I'll turn this way so you can see. I want you to bring it up. If you can get it up to 90-degree angle, that's fabulous, without arching that back, and down. Now slow and controlled movements here. If getting that knee up to 90-degree angle isn't happening for you today, that's okay. You just bring that leg up as much as is comfortable for you in this moment. And slowly go down. So this is a leg strengthening exercise, but because we are doing it really slow and kind of controlled movement here, it becomes balance as well, which is beautiful. So we're doing the same leg. So this leg is probably starting to burn a little bit, and this one is starting to feel the pressure from holding you. And that's okay. Let's do 2 more. Oh. Beautiful posture, core is engaged. And last one up, slow it down. And down. Okay, shake out those legs. I'm gonna turn my chair to this side so that we can do the other one. If you're at home, you don't need to move your chair, just turn around. If I turned around, you would be looking at my backside, and you don't need to do that. So, finding that beautiful posture, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, shift the weight in your body to the leg that's closest to the chair. The leg that's farthest away is going to be the one that comes up to as close to that 90 as we can manage, and then back down. Up. Just like last time, make sure that that core is controlled. You're not arching through that back. Up. And down. This leg that you're standing on is not locked out. Don't lock out that knee. A slight bend to that knee is good. And also, if you're starting to feel a little bit wobbly on that leg, what you can do is tighten that glute. Not with your hand, I know I showed with your hand, but tighten that muscle. And by flexing that muscle, you will hopefully see that your body instantly became more stable. Looking good. And down, let's do 2 more. Up. Down, and last one. Up. And down. All right. Give those legs a shake. That was hip flexion. Now we're going to do hip abduction. So I'm going to leave my chair here, but you guys are going to face your chair for this one. So abduction is taking away from your body. So finding that beautiful upright posture, we're going to alternate one side and then the other. So it's taking that leg out to the side, but we're not leading with the toe, we're leading with the heel to really isolate the side of our hip to be able to do that movement. So foot is pointing straight forward. If not, have that heel pointing out a little bit, and you're just going to take it out to the side. Not super far, because I want to maintain this upright posture, and then switch to the other side. So we're alternating one side and then the other. Slow and controlled movement. Core is engaged. Posture is beautiful. Those knee joints are not locked out. Slight bend in those knees. Yes. Pay attention to that lower back again. Make sure that it's not rounding to get the job done. Good. Out. And in. You should feel this on the outside of your hips. I feel this on the outside of my hips. Absolutely I do. Out. And in. So you're transferring your weight from one side to the other, which is going to help with your balance. And we're targeting muscles that help keep us upright, which is beautiful. All right, we're here for a while because I wanted to do 8 or 9 on each side, and I believe we're on number 7. Good. So finding that beautiful posture and holding it there. Let's do 1 more on each side. Out. And last one, out. And in. Whew. Okay, give those legs a shake. Grab a drink of water. I'm very thirsty today. I could be because it's been so hot yesterday and it's supposed to be really hot again today, and I probably didn't drink enough water yesterday. All right, so the next one we're gonna do is hip extension. So everyone's gonna turn and face their chair. We're gonna alternate one side and then the other. So finding that beautiful upright posture, engaging that core, making sure that that lower back does not arch. What you're gonna do is keep your foot flexed, keep your leg straight, and then you're just bringing your leg back until you feel your glute engage. My feet are not even really clearing each other. And then we're gonna transfer that weight and do the other side. And down. So we're gonna keep it slow and controlled to work on our balance. We're alternating side to side to work on our balance. And then what you can do is you can challenge your balance by taking a different option for your hands. So if you have both hands on, try maybe just fingertips of both hands, or try one hand, or try one fingertips, or try nothing at all. No, I mean no hands at all, nothing at all. So you choose which option you would like to try to use to challenge your balance today. So you should feel this in your bum, right in the middle of your cheek almost. That's the muscle that's responsible for taking that leg back. If you're starting to feel it in your lower back, pay attention to that core. Maybe your foot is going too far back and then it's causing your back to arch. It doesn't have to be a huge move to get the benefit into your glutes. And your glutes, which is your bum muscles, are responsible for so many movements, like standing up and sitting down. They're prime movers in that. Bending over and picking things up. Many of our tasks of daily living, our glutes are involved in, so that the stronger that we can make them, the better it will be. And in. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Last one. Out. Or back, sorry, and in. Okay, give those legs a shake. All right. What we're gonna do now is standing on one foot progression. So I do want you to be at the back of your chair. I'm gonna turn to the side again so you guys can see. So what we're going to do is we are going to shift our weight to one side, to one foot. The other foot, I want you to bring your heel up off the floor. Now shift your weight to the other side. Bring the opposite heel up off the floor. Shift back. Heel comes up, but toe stays down. Shift to the other side. Heel comes up, toe stays down. Let's do one more on each side here. Shift, heel comes up. Shift, heel comes up. Now, if that felt easy, you can take it up a notch. If that was challenging for you, you can stick with that level. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift that weight to one side. Heel comes up and then toe comes off just a little bit. Set that foot down, shift to the other side. Heel comes up, toe comes off. If you need that chair, that's what it's there for. And then foot down, shift. Heel up, toe up if you're ready or want to try, and then put that foot down, shift to the other side. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why are we doing this standing on one foot thing? Because being able to stand on one foot for 5 seconds is one of the things our body needs to be able to do to have good balance. But you can't just go straight from not being able to do it to being able to do it. That's why there's a progression. Shift, heel up, toe up. Foot down, shift, last one, heel up, toe up. And come back to both feet. Okay, so if that level felt good, felt easy, felt like, hey, I want to try some more, you can do this next option with me. If that was enough, you can stick with that. But otherwise, we're going to shift to one side and bring that knee towards the front of your body. I'll show you this side. Kind of bringing your foot up like that. And set it down. Shift to the other side. Bring that other foot up. Set it down. Shift. Foot up. So the leg that you're standing on, that foot is grounding through that whole foot into the floor, not just your heel, not just your toes, the whole foot. Core is engaged, glutes are firing, which means your glutes are engaged. If that means you're tightening them when you're standing on this foot, then that's what you need to do. Shift, bring that foot up. Shift, bring that foot up. We'll do one more on the other side. Or did we start on that side? I'm not sure. Shift, bring that leg up, and set it down. All right, give those legs a shake. Now, If that felt really easy, if that felt really comfortable, if you would like to take it up another notch, this is what you can do. If it did not feel easy, if you are done with this part of the balance and you don't want to try anymore, feel free to grab a drink of water, keep your feet moving. Otherwise, we're going to add a little bit more onto that. So I'm going to shift my weight to one side. Now when I'm going to bring this foot forward and then back. Forward and then back. Forward and then back. One more time, forward and then back. Shift the weight to the other side. So you can see that this, being able to do this, requires a lot more balance than that first option does. Okay, so shift to this side. Reach out, reach back. Reach out with that foot, reach back. How big you make this swing is up to you. But have that chair available for yourself to hold on to if you are going to try a really big swing, or if you're trying this and you've not tried it before. Okay, once more, forward and back. All right, let's do one more each side. Switch to the other side. This time we're going to add a side to it. So we're going to go forward, side, back, side, forward. It's like you're doing a little rainbow between the front and the back. Trying to hold that balance if you can, making sure that that glute is engaged. And back. Good. Set that foot down. Put that weight on that other side. Finding that beautiful posture. Core is engaged. Start at the front, creating that rainbow to the back, rainbow to the front. Full foot of the leg that you're standing on is engaged with the floor. Glute is engaged. Core is engaged. Holding onto that chair. Oh yeah, no, I really need the chair. Ah! Okay, once more, back and forth. And back, set that foot down. All right, so that's just a little way to play kind of at increasing your balance and have a little bit of fun with it too, which is kind of cool. Now, incidentally, when we are doing balance exercises, if you've got a little wobble, that's awesome, because the wobble tells me that you are challenging your balance enough for your body to try to find its equilibrium. If you're rock solid when we're doing them, maybe you need to challenge yourself a little bit more. All right, we got about 5 minutes oh no, we don't. We just got a few minutes before we're gonna do our stretches. So I want to do a rock around the clock. So I'm really gonna move this out of the way so you guys can see me. We've played this game before and it's one of my favorites. So imagine that you're standing in the middle of a clock. So you're standing at the middle where the hands are connected and your clock is all the way around you. Now recognize that my clock looks different than your clock, okay? So what we're going to do is I am going to call out a time, and then what you're going to do, say I say 12 o'clock, you're gonna stamp with the foot and then come back as quick as you can. Holding onto that chair for your balance if you need it, challenging your balance without holding onto if you're ready for that. So it doesn't matter which foot you stamp with. I'm gonna call it a time, you're gonna stamp it and come back to the middle. Okay, finding that beautiful posture, core is engaged, you ready? 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And come back to the middle. Okay, that was just fun. And the reason why we want you to stamp and come back is to have a little bit of impact. Impact is how we can, one of the ways that we can build bone density. And then it's also a reaction to come out and go back as quickly as we can. So one more round here, but this time, no matter what time I call out, I want you to just use your right leg. Now, recognize that my right leg is different than your right leg because you're looking at a screen. So my clock is different, okay? Right leg only. I'm gonna start with 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's where you have to cross over and come back. 7 o'clock, and back. 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock is right over and back, and 12 o'clock and back. All right, That was our right side. Now let's do this on the left side. So that left leg, you're only going to use to stamp. That right leg is just hanging out, or it's holding your body up. All right, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 12. And come back together. All right, that was just fun. Thank you guys for doing that fun game with me. I appreciate it. It's one of my faves. All right, I'm just gonna grab a drink of water, and then we're gonna just move into doing a few stretches for our body. It's important to give our body stretches, to stretch our body after we have worked it so that we can return those muscles back to their pre-exercise state and give us an opportunity to release some of that tension that we created when we were working out. So we're gonna start with a calf stretch. I'm gonna use my chair for this one. You guys can see it. So I'm standing close to my chair. One leg is back, reaching back for the big step with that leg. Both of my feet are flat on the floor. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. And then I'm just gonna lean towards this front bent knee until I feel stretch in the calf of this back leg. Take some breaths here. One more breath. All right, let's switch to the other side. Back leg is straight. Oh, that feels good. Front knee is bent. Finding that stretch in that calf. How far you lean forward is up to you, but always keeping that chest and that head up. One more breath here. All right, and let's come around and sit in our chair. I'll move my chair so you guys can see me. We're gonna start sitting at the front of that chair. So far enough to the front of that chair that you can get your legs straight out. We're gonna do a hamstring stretch. Your hamstring is the muscle at the back of your thigh. So heel is down, toe is up, finding that beautiful posture. This leg is straight or slightly bent, but not locked out. Finding those hips with your hands, and then we're just hinging forward at that hip, keeping your chest and your head up until you feel the stretch behind that thigh and maybe even behind that knee. Taking a few deep breaths here. Good, and let's release that. Let's go to the other side. So other leg straight out, slight bend or just a straight leg. Don't lock that knee out. Finding those hips and then just hinging forward at that hip until you feel the stretch behind that thigh. Maybe even behind that knee, depending if you're very tight. Let's take one more breath here. All right, release that. Let's come to the middle of our chair. We're gonna have one arm up to the ceiling, one arm down to the floor, stretching those two apart from each other, reaching for the sky, reach, reach, reach. Those feet are flat on the floor. Good, and then we're gonna release that, and let's go to the other side. So other arm is up, one arm is down, reaching those two apart from each other. Reach, reach, reach. Reach and trying to reach the cookies or something on the top shelf. And then relax. All right, let's roll those shoulders back and down. And then nice roll back. Good. And we're gonna end with a really nice chest stretch. So I want you to bring your hands together in the front. Then you're gonna open up through your chest. Bring those shoulders away from your ears, finding that level that your arms need to be at to feel that stretch through that chest and maybe even into your upper arm. Yes, taking a nice deep breath here. And one more time in And we're done. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this posture and balance class. We absolutely appreciate you continuing to watch our videos on Facebook. As usual, if you guys have any suggestions, things that you would like to see, any comments, anything like that, feel free to drop a comment underneath this video. Otherwise, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.